Good morning, everyone. Before we get started today, being the 20th anniversary of 9/11, before I even get started today, I would just like to take a moment of silence to remember the thousands of people that we lost that day, our brave men and women who fought this evil terrorism for the past 20 years and continue to fight. So before we get started, please just a moment of silence and we'll get going shortly. Thank you. So, good morning and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. As always, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here for you guys to invite me into your homes, either now on live and in living color or in the replay later. And remember, if you're watching, please just put your comments in. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. This week, I decided to start the conversation off to help our rescue groups, our fosters, our shelters, dogs that are in need around the country and around the world. We all see what's going on. We're all on Facebook. We know there's horror stories in shelters and people, rescue groups pleading and begging for fosters. And we get people, dogs that fail. I don't want to use the word fail, but fail once they're in the foster home or in the shelter environment. And I do truly, truly believe that we can do a lot to help them. So to move on to the next phase in their lives. Good morning, Donna. How are you? Rescue dogs, to me, have a big part of my heart. Every dog I've ever personally owned has been a rescue dog. I believe they have so much more potential than a lot of people give them credit for. And what do I mean by that? Not next week, but probably the week after, I'll be doing my live animal talk with Back to Basics Dog Training, and it'll be about animal therapy. It'll be with a group that does animal therapy for people with mental challenges, mental disabilities. And we were talking on the phone, and one of the things we both agreed on is that rescue dogs could make great therapy type of animals, emotional support animals, can make, if given the proper chance. So what I want to talk about is how the people at the shelter, the volunteers, the shelter crews, the rescue groups, the rescue fosters, the people that adopt the dogs, whatever it is, I want to talk about how we can help those dogs move on to their next phase of their lives. And as I said in the comments, give them that happy, balanced life they truly, truly deserve. Because most of those dogs that are in shelters and being rescued, they're there for no fault of their own. Guys, I can't stress that enough. I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of rescue dogs in my career. And I'm going to tell you now, every one of them that I hear, when I hear their backstories, they don't deserve to be where they are. Humans failed them. And I can't stress that enough, because we don't know how to properly communicate with our dogs, with our animals. We don't know how to listen to what they're saying, even though they're not verbalizing it in the way you and I understand. But they're talking, they're communicating to us constantly. And these dogs end up in these shelters and in the rescues because they're misunderstood. So what I want to do is talk about, okay, their humans already failed them. They were dropped off at a shelter or a rescue group, or the humans were irresponsible and didn't spay and neuter the dogs, and we had an unwanted pregnancy, or whatever the case may be. Good morning, Michelle, Athena. I know we're going to discuss one of your issues today, but I just really want to get this out because it's been pulling at my heartstrings recently. So the humans failed these animals. Be it one way or another, we failed, guys. Man up, admit it, we made mistakes, let's move forward. So what I ask anybody who I've ever worked with that does foster, does rescue, whatever it may be, is as much as, and I know you guys heard me talk about this, I'm a broken record when it comes to a lot of this crap, but a lot of what I tell them is stop feeling bad about the dog's past. Because if we feel bad for them, guys, we can't move them forward. Period. End of discussion. If we're always going to worry about their past, they were abused, they were puppy mill dog, they were, a street dog, they were an unwanted litter, whatever it may be, they if we live in that part of their past, we can never, ever, ever move them forward. And like Donna says, Star communicates all the time with us. If it's it was you that helped us understand him, yeah, well, that's the whole key, guys. We're not listening to what the dogs are saying. And when a dog is overexcited or scared or whatever, when we get to the point of, oh my God, I'm fed up with this, dump them. And I'm going to tell you now, and I've said this before, and there is no study on it, but I'm going to say 85 to 90% of the dogs that right now in current shelters around this country are overly excited dogs, that excitement has been misinterpreted to aggression or turned to aggression because it wasn't handled properly. Because again, we weren't listening to what the dogs were saying. And, again, being an animal advocate, being the voice for the voiceless, I talk about this all the time. If you had a child that was ADHD and really hyper and bouncing off the walls and doing all this stuff, you wouldn't freaking give them up. You'd try to figure out ways to work with what they have to help them move forward. That's what we need to do for our dogs. This is a passion, guys. This is something that is real. It's such a passion for me. It's consuming that we give up on our animals. And it's not fair. Most of those dogs that go into shelters, go into the rescue system, are good dogs. We've misunderstood what they said, and we get frustrated and angry because we're telling them what to do, but we're not showing them what to do. We're yelling at them to stop this nonsense. Cut it out. You're acting like an idiot, whatever, but you're never turning them no into yeses. That's not your dog's fault. That's your fault. And it's real important that our fosters, especially the fosters that are taking these dogs out of the shelter, out of the rescue group, fostering them, start teaching rules, boundaries, and limitations instantly. It's so, so important that we do that. If we take the time and teach them the rules that we want them to abide by in our homes, they flourish. Guys, I can't stress enough. I've done this enough times. We take the time, we do it right, it works. Don't bring them into your home and let them have free run of everything. Look what we're giving you. Oh my God, we're the great. Look at this. Look at this. That's just overwhelming for a dog. It's confusing for a dog, and it's no rules. So they're going to make their own rules because you're not giving them rules. So why would I listen to you? So if you set the clear rules, they follow. And it takes time. I know you've seen it probably out there on different posts about rescue dogs and all this type of stuff. They need time to decompress. And I don't care if it's a rescue dog or a dog you purchased, even as a puppy. They need time to decompress. This is overwhelming to them. They're going from one environment to another environment. And in the rescue world, they're going from one environment to another environment to another environment to another environment. Think about it. It's overwhelming to a dog. It's overwhelming to humans. So imagine what they're going through, and then nobody's setting the rules on what they want their dogs to do in their homes. And that includes the fosters. Now, I've said this before, and I know I piss off a lot of people because I'm pretty transparent and pretty blunt on what I say and do. If you're in helping the rescues and you're fostering dogs, or you're volunteering at a shelter to go interact and be with the dogs because you feel bad for them, if you're doing it for your own ego, for that pat on the back, get the hell out of it. You're not helping the dogs. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. If you want to truly help the dogs, even if you're going to the shelter once a week to walk the dogs, do structure on the walk. If you are fostering, yes, you open up your home to these dogs, but if you brought foster kids into your home, you would set rules. You wouldn't just let them have carte blanche and run around the house and break crap, so why let the dogs do it? Donna says, Rich and I just got home from being in Florida. He was acting bratty Brian and Alex, who were home with him, we come home and he's overexcited. His overexcitement is through the roof. He keeps nudging me with his nose. Zoomies are up. And when I say no, he drops to the floor on his side looking at me to use the mother bite. I don't do it. Good. If I don't do it, he gets up, looks at me, and runs around again. So back to structure, consistency, and rules because we love him. Absolutely put a leash on him. I understand you guys, mommy and daddy were away for a while and they're home. I'm going to deal with this now because, like you can see, I'm in a different environment. Grand dog sitting. The kids are coming home sometime Monday. I got to pick them up at the airport. I should probably find out what time it is. They're coming home. Their dogs are going to go crazy, and the worst thing they're going to do is feed into the energy. It's okay. I understand they're excited to see us. I do, guys. Nothing better. I can go out to the mailbox, come back. My grand dogs are like, I've been gone for days. It is normal for them to be excited when their pack leaders come back into the den, for lack of better terms. But it's also real important that you don't feed into it and you disagree with it because, again, if it was another dog, if you were truly a dog and you came in and the pack mates were jumping on you and annoying you and do that, you'd nip the dog. I'm not saying always use the mother's touch. You can use your verbals. You can have your collar on him. You can have the leash on him. But bring it back to basics, no pun intended. And it's real important because Stark will appreciate that more. I know him. I love that little goofball. He thrives when he is told what to do and how to behave so he can act like a gentleman. And here's a rescue dog, guys, that, again, we don't know his whole past, but he was in another environment before Donna and Rich got him, who didn't set rules for him. Then they got frustrated because he wasn't being a good dog and turned him back to the rescue group. And then Donna and Rich got him, and thank God they reached out to me because I was able to explain to them what he was doing, what he was saying, and how he was trying to communicate with them because he wanted them to do the job they're doing today. Giving them the discipline, giving them the structure, because discipline and structure equal love in a dog, in an animal world. And it's really important. I know it sounds like I'm talking about you never loving your dogs, but you are loving your dogs by setting rules, giving discipline. Donna says, all tools are being used. Great. Yes, he melts our hearts. But again, thank you for helping us understand it. You guys thank me, but you guys did the work. So I just guided. So again, here's a great example of a rescue dog that could have had a horrible, horrible life because he was just misunderstood. And, getting back to the Donna and Rich thing with them going away, and the worst thing Donna and Rich could do is feel bad about leaving Stark for a week or whatever it was that they were in Florida. One, you left them with the kids, so there's nothing to feel bad about. And two, you're allowed to leave. You're the pack leaders. Pack leaders are allowed to leave. So if you feel guilty, oh my God, my poor baby's going to miss us. Oh, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? And I'm not sure if Brian and Alex felt bad for him because you guys were gone. Did they do the same structure? Did they take him for his walks? Did they do the things that kept him into his normal routine as possible, minus mommy and daddy? That was real important. I'm doing it with my grand dogs. I follow the rules my kids set for their dogs. Even though I may not necessarily agree with them, I'm still following them because it's their rules. And those are what the dogs are accustomed to. They're getting walked probably more times than they used to get walked because I'm enjoying it. And part of the walk is the structure, the leadership, the guidance to help them have a better life. So with that being said, I know, Michelle, you had an issue with Athena this week. I'm going to paraphrase from what I read on Facebook, but it sounds like Athena went to the vet and was acting like an idiot, and the vet basically couldn't complete the task that they were supposed to, which is give the shots, draw blood, whatever. And it's a new behavior for Athena. If I'm not mistaken, Michelle, if you're still there, just let me know if I'm on the right track here. So I want to talk about that. And of course, what did the vet do? The vet threw up their hands, um, and basically said, "Well, we can't complete it. You have to come back, and you're going to have to give the dog doggy downers for us to complete this process." Well, shame on the vet. Shame on the environment or the world we're living in today. Yeah, she's always been fine in the past. I think a lot of the problems, and I've been seeing a lot more of this, Michelle, so you're not alone on this, is because a lot of vets are not allowing us, the doggy parents, into the office with the dogs. It's overwhelming. It's stressful for the dogs. People are forgetting this, guys. You know, our dogs are used to us. We send them to the vet. A vet tech comes out, gets them from our cars. Dog's like, where mommy and daddy? And now the vet's poking and prodding and doing things. Crap. I wouldn't like it either. So one thing is, I understand the vet muzzled her. What my suggestion would be is get her muzzled before you get her in the car. So this way it's not the vet scaring her. Now, oh, I'm here and I'm getting that muzzle put on me. I don't like when vets do it. If we know our dogs tend to react at a vet, which is new for Athena, we should muzzle the dogs before we even get in the car. So this way it's not the vet doing it, so they're not associating the vet with the muzzle, because the muzzle can be considered a negative thing, especially the way they do it. Because they're not going to take the time to condition the dog the right way. They're not going to take the time. They're going to force this thing into a muzzle on it, and the dog's not going to like the muzzle. So one thing is, because you mentioned that the vet put the muzzle on hers, I would start putting the muzzle on her again. You putting the muzzle on her, so the muzzles can represent something positive again, and give her treats and do the normal routine. But what I would do is, first of all, I'm sorry to say this, I did see some of the comments on your post, find a new vet. I'm not going to get into that, but I would talk to the vet about possibly going in with, this is getting ridiculous, guys, that these vets are not allowing you guys in with the dogs. I got news for you. When we moved down here, Zoe got sick. I called 3 or 4 vets. The vet I ended up going to was the first vet, and the only vet that says, yes, you can come in with your dog. Because I'm not going to hand off my dog to strangers that she doesn't know. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to the vet. It's not fair for the vet experience. The other thing I will say is, and again, because I do try to relate things to human behavior, is if I had a young child that needed to go to a pediatrician, I am not going to let my child go into the pediatrician without me. Why would I want my dog to go into the vet without me? I want to know what's going on. I want to have that face-to-face conversation with the vet. I have a right to do that. And I don't understand why vets are not allowing it. I understand COVID. I understand all that, but we can take proper procedures. And, if you're going to wear your mask, they're going to wear their masks. There's no reason for it. If you're not willing to wear the mask, then I believe they do have a right to say you can't come in. And I'm fine with that. But if you're willing to do what the vet protocols for at the vet's office to do what you need to do to help your dog, do it. Michelle, I would definitely get on the phone with the vet and say, listen, she's never done this before. I don't understand. I think the reason is I wasn't there. How about when we come back to finish up this routine thing the dog should be used to by now? Can Rob or I come in? And if not, I'd be honest with them and say, I have to start looking for another vet, because that's BS. I'm sorry. I have a huge problem with what's going on right now with the vets. I don't know how to fix the problem, so that's why I don't talk about it a lot, bar going on Facebook and just trashing every single vet that doesn't allow it. That's not the right answer either, guys. They have to come together as a community to be able to do this. So, I know there's dog groups out there on Long Island, Long Island dog parents or whatever. I would start getting suggestions on how we can fix this. I understand, with COVID going on, everybody's afraid. A lot of people are afraid. The vets have to worry about their staff and all that type of stuff. Right. Well, I understand that when you purchase the medicine, which sucks because they kind of strong-armed you into it as far as I'm concerned, and you paid for an office visit that wasn't complete, they should not charge you another office visit because they couldn't do their job. I would fight that tooth and nail. If you do end up having to pay for it, this sounds really cruel, guys. Put it on your credit card, get your bill, figure out what you owe for the completion of it, minus that, and then dispute the second office visit with your credit card company. I would not pay a second um, office visit. There's no way in hell. Um, but I would definitely ask the vet if you can come in. And here's the scary thing: is that what I'm afraid is going to happen is you're going to set up your second appointment or whatever, and they're going to ask you, "Did you give her the medication?" If you tell them the truth, no, I didn't. They may refuse you at this point, which sucks. Um, Again, if you have other people that you know that use that vet, maybe all you get together and have a conversation with the vet um, about the policies and procedures there. And I understand they want to protect their crew and staff. I understand all that. But I need to protect my dog, and that means I have to be there. My vet on Long Island that I had there was so good with me. When they had to take Zoe into the back to do blood draws, I was allowed to go with her. And I don't baby my dogs, guys. I just know yeah, it sucks. I don't know how long you've been using that vet, but yeah, if that's the case. But I would do the research, see who's going to let you in. I've seen some vets on Long Island are allowing it. I know things are changing daily, um, but that's a sticky point for me. I'm going to have a hard time with it if my vet ever says no, I can't go in. I'll find a vet that will allow me to go in. It's that simple. Again, I relate it to as if I had a kid. If my kids were younger, I'm not letting them go into the pediatrician without me. Why would I expect my dog to do it? It's a traumatizing experience for a dog. And again, not knocking the vets, but they don't take in their X amount of years of school very much animal behavior. Best friends in Smithtown, let us go in now. Great. That's a haul for Michelle, but if that works, Michelle, um, that's one avenue. Again, I don't know which vets are taking them on Long Island. I know the vet I found here was. I just saw a post recently that they stopped that. So I need to go there and talk to them because I think Zoe's due for something. Um, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be allowed in or my wife's going to be allowed in. Again, if you think about the process of a vet, and especially what's going on right now, I just had to do it with my grand dog after he had his surgery. I brought him to the vet for my kids for the follow up, and we sat in the car for 20 minutes while we were waiting for the vet tech to come out and get him, which is stressful. Why are we sitting here? Why aren't we doing something? So I decided I'm not going to just sit here. I took him out of the car and we started walking a little bit, and they found me. But you can see when they took the leash from me, he kept looking for me. He kept looking for me. Where did Grandpa go? And that's not a good experience for a dog. It's traumatizing. Relate it back to the first day of sending your kids to preschool or kindergarten or whatever, and the kid gets on the bus or you drop them off at the front door and they're looking back, well, you're not coming with me? That's what the dogs are going through. And because they can't verbalize it the way our children can, they don't cry, they don't say, I want my mommy. They're going to react, guys, in the way animals react, and that's self-defense. And that's what these vets have to understand. They don't take a lot of animal behavior. They take what they need to save our animals' lives, and I understand that. That's a lot of work. I couldn't do it. But they're taking care of their body, which is great, but they have to worry about the mind of the dogs. And, I can go on and on and on about this guy. Sorry if I sound like, a run-on sentence with this one, but it really freaking annoys me that these vets are doing this to you guys. So, Michelle, the best thing I could say to do is definitely, now that Athena has exhibited this unwanted behavior, again, it would be easier if I could say, hey, let me go. I'll take the dog to the vet. Let me reintroduce the vet when we don't have an appointment, so we're not making the vet a terrible experience. I've done that with certain dogs. I've gotten calls where I can't bring my dog to the vet. It has to be sedated when I get there, blah, 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 blah. And what I do is back before COVID is I would talk to whoever their vet is, introduce myself and say, hey, I just want to bring, Athena in, not for a checkup, just so we can start making her understand this is a good place to be. And we'd give treats and we'd do this. We'd put her on the table. We give treats. I did this with St. Bernard, guys, who I think bit the vet twice, because he was terrified in the vet's office for whatever reason. And it could be the smells, it could be the energy in a vet's office. I mean, think about what goes on in these places. And since they're so in tune to their energy and the smells, it just may be overwhelming. And again, it comes from a lot of the mommy and daddies. Oh my God, we're bringing the dog to the vet. How they're going to react badly. They're going to react poorly. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They're going to get a shot. They're going to get blah, blah. And we walk them in and we're nervous, so they're going to be nervous. So we create a lot of that nonsense too. But you can reintroduce dogs to a vet in a more calmer, pleasant way if they would allow you to go in with the dogs. It's part of the rehabilitation. But what I would do, Michelle, definitely is start remuzzling Athena more at home, but especially before the next vet appointment. A couple days, a week, or whatever. Muzzle on, half hour, 45 minutes. Maybe just go for a car ride with the muzzle on. Don't go into the vet's office. So this way, when they take her out, she's already muzzled. She's used to the muzzle. She's used to going from your home to your car with the muzzle coming out. Go to a park or go empty parking lot, whatever. Take her out with the muzzle. This way, she's comfortable with the muzzle again, and maybe it'll change that experience. And if she has the muzzle on before she gets into the vet's office, when the vet techs and the vets see that, they're going to be calmer. We all know the calmer energy helps a lot of issues because, I'll put that little blurb up there because I like it, and that energy is the most important form of communication. So if we can do something that allows the vets to be calmer when we bring Athena in, that may be a solution. I hope that helps you out, Michelle. It just sucks. I wish these vets would definitely let us in with our dogs. It's ridiculous. So we're at the magic half hour. I'm not getting a lot of questions today, guys. Anybody on Long Island who is watching or watching later on the replay, my trip is still scheduled to go on. I will be driving up to New York on September 21st. I'm not going to take any training sessions, start doing any training to the 28th, which is a Tuesday, and I will be there to, I think now the 5th, so the 4th. So I only have a week's worth of real training to do. I can fit people in between, depending on what it is, so you guys let me know. If anybody wants me to come by to do a private one-on-one session, of course, I'll be happy to fit you into my schedule while I'm up on Long Island. And anybody watching up and down the coast from Long Island to South Carolina, if you need me to come by, of course, reach out to me, Facebook message me, text message me. I'll put my phone number up here again for you guys to have it. Next time I do this show, I will also have my email address on the bottom here for you guys. But this is my phone number. Texting is always the best solution. Like I said, I'm planning on being up there from the 22nd, because I can't count the 21st, through October 5th. Love to see whoever needs my help. And if anybody needs my help and they just want to, okay, Donna, we'll definitely get something. I'll text you afterwards. We'll figure out something. I think that first Saturday that I'm there, because I know Saturdays work for you guys, I think I'll be free because my wife and my daughter are coming up with me, but I think they're going into the city to see my other daughter. So that Saturday I may be a little bit more free. I got to figure this all out still. Anybody who is interested or needs some clarification on anything we ever discuss on any of these Facebook Lives, remember, guys, I can always do a Zoom session with you. Zoom is definitely a more affordable way of training because I'm not driving anywhere, so I don't have to charge you as much. It's always available, but of course, we always have this platform. What I was going to say is on Wednesday, the 22nd, I'm shooting to do another one of my live animal talks at 7 o'clock. It will be with a group that does therapy work with animals, horses. They're bringing dogs into the therapy right now to help kids with autism. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's a great thing that we need to get out there, that animals can help. I was talking to them yesterday. Every one of their horses that they use to help with therapy are all rescue horses. A couple of them on those mini horses that I got involved with that were never handled by humans before. And they're doing phenomenal with these people that need the help. And the best thing is, and the thing that I find amazing is in my conversation, they were talking about how the horses understand which of their guests want to pet the horses and which ones don't, and the ones that don't really want to be, they're a little intimidated by these little horses. Those horses don't go near those people. And it's actually pretty beautiful. So we'll get more into that. So please mark your calendar. I will post this out next Wednesday night about it. I think it's going to be really, really interesting. That is something I'm going to ask y'all to do me a favor. Share that once I post it out on my Facebook page. Share it out there to your friends and family, because this is about animal therapy helping people with special needs. And we can't get better than that. And it's not always about dogs. Remember, my animal talk is scheduled to be about animals. Animals need us to be their voices, as they say, the voice of the voiceless. So let's get it out there. Let's help this group. And let's talk about their needs and what they're doing and how they're helping society. So with that being said, guys, thank you again for allowing me into your homes this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning. I really do appreciate it. If there are no further questions, he tried to say, we're going to wrap it up. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Again, thank you for allowing me in your home. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. And remember, together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.